Hello everyone and welcome to this video. My name is Jad and in today's video we're going to be doing another portfolio update. Now I always get super excited to make these portfolio update videos. I think this is probably the fourth or the fifth in the series, which is crazy to think how quick the time went. But really the whole goal of this series is just to kind of share with you all what I'm invested in and also kind of act as a journal for myself to just see how I'm doing over time. So hopefully in a couple of years I can kind of look back at these videos and just, I don't know, laugh or kind of compare how I was doing then compared to how I'm doing now. I also do want to say that this is definitely not financial advice, so please do not trust what I'm saying. This is just for entertainment purposes. So a bit of context for some people new to the channel, as I know there's always new videos. So first of all, welcome. My name is Jad. I graduated about a year and 3 or 4 months ago now. Since graduation, I've started working a tech job based in London. Thanks to God, I'm able to actually live at home so I can save or invest at least a lot of my money. Prior to that, I had a placement year at Amazon Web Services, which is Amazon's kind of cloud computing division. And during my time at uni, I had a few other high-paying internships, as well as some online businesses, which is kind of how I was able to build this portfolio at such a young age. And I guess over time, with the power of compound interest and money growing over time, the kind of initial pot I had has snowballed. So definitely one thing I wish I did sooner was invest, but nevertheless, here we are. And if any of you are new to the investing game or you want to get started with investing, feel free to check out my link in the description. I've got a link to a platform called Freetrade, which is a super beginner friendly platform. And if you use my link and deposit £50, you get a free share worth between £10 to all the way to £200. Definitely worth getting it for the free share, but nevertheless, let's get right into the video. Awesome, so if we hop over on the screen here, I always love sharing my screen. I think it's so cool. You can see the screen on your left-hand side. Pretty much the way my portfolio is divided is into a few different accounts. So the first account you see on your left is my stocks and shares ISA. That's going to be my primary account, or at least the account I maxed out first. Then we've also got my general investing account. And the whole reason I have the general investing account is because I already maxed out my ISAs. So that was pretty much the next best thing. And then the last investing account would be my lifetime ISA. If we dive right into it, you can see this is my stocks and shares ISA. And if a few of you have watched some of these investing videos over the past month, I think you've probably seen YouTubers, or at least I did, with titles like "My portfolio blew up," "My portfolio exploded in growth." And that was definitely the case. However, all those gains kind of did come down quite a lot, as you can see how we're doing here. So in this portfolio, I've got about 40,000 or just under £40,000. The last day alone, we are down £430. The last week has been brutal. We are down £1,360. That's crazy to see. I think losses always hurt a lot more than gains. But if we take kind of a bigger view, the last month was still up overall almost £700. The last 3 months, about £3,000. And then the last year, since I started investing in about March, we are up 7,600 in this account, which is crazy. So definitely the whole goal, at least my goal with investing, is I'm not looking to make a quick buck or looking to make money in a week or a couple of weeks. I'm just kind of putting money in there and forgetting about it. I think, at least in my personal opinion, not financial advice, the main way you benefit from investing is by parking your money there and leaving it there. Now, if we go to a bit more what I'm actually invested in, you can see my portfolio is super boring. And I say that in full transparency, as I know some portfolios on YouTube are crazy, but really I'm a bit more of a conservative investor, you can say. And you can see here the majority of my funds are parked into the Invesco Dow Jones Islamic Global Developed Market Fund. That is definitely a mouthful, but essentially what this is this is the FTSE All World Index, or the equivalent of the FTSE All World Index. However, as I'm Muslim, this excludes certain stocks like alcohol stocks, gambling stocks, weapons manufacturing, banks. So there's a few exclusions in there, but largely it includes all the same stocks you'd be familiar with and all the biggest companies around the world. You can see our entry price here was extremely good. My average buy price was 26.5, which was during the whole Trump tariff drama. I do wish I invested all my money in at that point. However, I did start investing at that point, and then I kind of put some more money in each following month. You can see that was a fantastic entry price. And really what we're doing from there, we're up about 7,100 from there. However, we did lose a little bit of money on the foreign exchange fees. That's going to be my bread and butter position. You can see I've also got a bit more exposure to big tech. I currently work in tech in London, and I'm a firm believer in tech companies. I think the growth of these companies is fantastic. Obviously, that's not to say it will continue in the future, but I'm very bullish on technology. And I kind of created a pie on Trading 212, which essentially acts as, I guess, your own investing instrument. And any pound, or let's say I put £100 into this, it would be divided between all of these companies. And in here, we've got Alphabet, which is Google, Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, and Meta. My portfolio here is largely all in ETFs, with a little bit of exposure into the Mag 7 and big tech stocks. If we go to my general investing account, this portfolio kind of mimics the structure of my ISA. If you look down here, we've got a large or a majority of my holdings in ETFs, the same all-world FTSE all-world ETF. We've also got quite a bit of a bigger allocation into big tech. These are your Mag 7 companies. And in here, we've got about £11,000 into there. I did tweak this pie a bit, as I am quite bullish on Meta. Definitely not financial advice, just my opinion. So I did put some more money into Meta. It kept dropping, though, after I put money into it. But nevertheless, that's all right for now. And I did buy about £1,000 worth of Meta stock. And you can see it's dropped a bit more since then. The only major difference in this portfolio would be last month I actually put £10,000 worth of money into Bitcoin, which is a huge amount of money. Seemed crazy that I even did that. Sometimes I think I'm crazy myself. However, I have done quite a bit of research on crypto. I read quite a few books. At least my personal opinion, I think it's worth having some of your portfolio in crypto as a hedge against inflation, as I'm sure we've all seen governments around the world, like the US government, the UK government, are printing money like nobody's business. So currently I have about 9.5 grand worth in Bitcoin. And this is just a ETN, which kind of tracks the price of Bitcoin over time. The whole reason I bought this as opposed to regular Bitcoin is it fits into my Trading 212 portfolio. It's a lot easier to manage. And I think it just takes the stress out of kind of having to manage crypto on your own. Since I bought it, it has gone down. But as I said before, I'm more of a long-term investor. So that's all right. And I'm only ever planning to have about 10% of my portfolio at a time in Bitcoin. It may seem like quite a lot. However, if Bitcoin goes to zero, at the end of the day, it's only 10% of my portfolio, so it's not going to be the end of the world. But I did want to have at least a sizable chunk in it, as if it doubled in value. If I've only got £100 invested in Bitcoin and it doubles in value, I made 100 quid, so the gains wouldn't be as good. So I think right now my 10% exposure is a decent amount, and I guess it's appropriate for my own risk tolerance. Just to summarize the portfolio so far, we've got about £40,000 in the stocks and shares ISA. We've got about just under £67,000 in the general investing account. We are still up this month for the general investing account, but you can see at a peak of, we were up 4 grand in the month at the peak. So it has come down quite a lot, but I guess this is always the thing with stocks. If we open up my last account, this is my Moneybox Lifetime ISA. And the whole reason I have a Lifetime ISA is because for every £4,000 you put in each year, you actually get a £1,000 bonus from the government. So that's almost a instant 25% return on your money without any risk, even if you didn't invest in any stocks and you just kept it in money market funds. However, from my Lifetime ISA, I did invest it in the market, and you can see this is how we were performing. We've invested a total of 8 grand into this account, and I just love looking at these graphs. You can see over time it has just kind of snowballed and the growth is just trickling upwards. I'm invested 100% in HSBC's Islamic Global Shares Fund, and this is kind of the same as the Invesco fund you saw in the Trading 212 account. However, they didn't have the Invesco account on Moneybox, so instead I bought this. I thought it was the next best thing, and you can see we've got about 617 shares in this. But if I just open up my calculator, as I'm not going to do the mental math, if we've got 67 in the general investing account, 48,000 in the stocks and shares ISA, and about 12.5 in the Lifetime ISA, we are coming out to just under £120,000. As well as that, I do have a few other investments in my company. I'm actually signed up for my company's share scheme, and pretty much they are a very large company in the UK and they pay a dividend. And I think right now I've got about £2,000 worth of company stock. So if we were going to include that, that would be about 122,000 total. So that's where we are this month. It has definitely been a very rocky month. You can see we have had some crazy highs. I probably should have made this video a week earlier, and then we would have had some insane gains to show you all. But, you know, alhamdulillah, thanks to God, our portfolio is doing fantastic so far, on just about £120,000 so far. Really excited to see how the other months go in the future. Who knows, it might go down more, it might go up more. No one knows the future. But if you are new and you did enjoy this video, feel free to subscribe. And please do let me know, drop a comment. I'm always interested to see how your portfolios are doing. Let me know how you guys are invested. And do any of you have a crypto holding, as I guess that's my biggest change from this month compared to the previous months. But nevertheless, thank you so much for watching, guys. And I hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you all later.